What's poppin', y'all? Welcome back to another episode of NBA Weekly. I'm your host, Pee Wee the Plug, and man, oh man, this storyline has been something I've been a little patient to dive into. I think everybody in sports media should have learned the lesson of not diving into things too quickly without containing a certain amount of information. I think the Ime Udoka situation in Boston was a good lesson for everybody to learn that. You know, it's okay to wait and let things play out, to speak on things with a lot more information than blindly speaking on things. So I took that approach with this situation personally. That's how it happens in NBA. We get a storyline, very little detail or information is revealed to us at first, and then as days go by and days progress, we get a little bit more here, a little bit more there, and then we can put the story together ourselves and make what actually happened. That's what I did. Yesterday, I was aware that the Warriors were going to have a practice, so I said, okay, I'm not going to do a video today. I'm going to just let these interviews come out. I'm going to take my notes and gather my information from the interviews from Bob Myers, Steve Kerr, and Steph Curry. I do exactly that. Today I wake up and it's time to record the video, but I go on Twitter like I always do, and the first thing I see is an entire video of this entire situation. And that changes the entire dynamic of anything I was possibly going to say, any approach I was going to take, and it kind of clears up everything for everybody. A lot of the reports were very vague, very misleading. We had reports saying he threw a punch, but we didn't know if it landed. We had reports saying he struck Jordan Poole, but we didn't know where, how effective it was, how bad it was. Was it on his shoulder, his stomach, his face? You know, did he skin him? Like, we had no information. It was just very, very vague and very little pieces to put together. But now to have the video, this is bad, man. This is bad. It's bad for business. It's bad for Draymond Green. It's bad for the Golden State Warriors. It's bad for Jordan Poole. It's bad for Bob Myers. It's bad, bad, bad. This is a lot worse than I thought after seeing the interviews from Bob Myers, Steve Kerr, and Steph Curry. This is way more bad than any of them had made it. And I understand now why they got up there and talking about, we're going to handle it internally. We're going to keep it private, blah, 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 blah. I understand now why they kept saying Draymond was so apologetic. This is terrible. Watching the video as a person who's been in a lot of arguments, as a person who's been on basketball teams and have argued with teammates, who's been around the game of basketball my entire life, watching this was very interesting. They're in practice. Jordan Poole and Draymond, you can see exchanging words if you look closely. Everybody who's watching the video is going to be focused on them. You see Jordan Poole mouth move, so he's saying something. But even with that, Jordan Poole is saying something. But again, I've been in arguments. I've been in arguments with teammates in that same situation in practice or in the locker room, and it's a way to argue. It's a way to speak to somebody. Jordan Poole probably talked some shit. He probably said something slick. No doubt about that. But even with that said, when I seen in the video, he was just his hands on his hips and he just moved his mouth like yada, yada, yada. You know what I mean? Like, I could say that like, you bum ass motherfucker, or man, you a bum. But if I'm like, you know, you a bum, blah, 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 we could do, it's the different from how you expressing the argument or how you expressing your shit talk. It's a way to be like, man, this is what it's aggressive. Jordan Poole wasn't aggressive with whatever he said. I don't know what he said. Don't know what he said at all. But when I saw the video, it wasn't aggressively being directed towards Draymond. You know, it's a way to present your argument or present your shit talking and present your argument or whatever the back and forth is. And Jordan Poole was very calm, very cool, and it was very subtle, like, man, blah, 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 blah. Draymond Green in a corner three-pointer behind the line. Jordan Poole is on the baseline out of bounds. Draymond Green walks to Jordan Poole. Get closer, closer, closer. He gets in his face. Jordan Poole pushes him out of his personal space. Draymond loads up, launches, and hits him in a situation where I don't think anybody expected Draymond to throw a punch. Even when you see the rest of the team, nobody paying him to attention. You know, nobody is thinking, let's jump in the middle because Draymond is finna punch him. This is about to get ugly. Everybody, the practice is still going on. Steph Curry back is not even turned to them. He not even paying attention to what they doing because that's how little he think is going to happen. Like, if you watch the surrounding people, I've been in practices, I've been in situations where it's like, oh shit, this is getting heated. Like, we should, like, somebody should intervene. Or you see people preparing for something. In the video, it wasn't that way. It wasn't that way. It was just like they were going back and forth. Draymond was walking closer. Everybody's eyes was on whoever was talking, which was probably Steve Kerr. And in the background, that kind of happened. So that was very interesting. To see Jordan Poole kind of fall is also tough. That means Draymond really, really impacted him. And that means Draymond had that intent. Draymond threw that punch to cause harm to Jordan Poole. He wanted something to happen to him. And like Steph Curry, Bob Myers, Steve Kerr kept saying, Draymond is a passionate guy. This is who Draymond is and everything. Not that they were making an excuse for him. It's a difference from being heated in the moment and being emotional to wanting to do harm to someone that you look like as a brother. It's hard to imagine that this was something that was just in that situation. This is something that was pent up. This is something that, to me, just from the optics and the video, from what I see, that's not something that just comes out in one singular situation for somebody that you have been to war and battle with and you've had success with. You just had success a few months ago. It ain't that long ago that these dudes was on a parade boat popping bottles and smoking cigars, celebrating. That wasn't that long ago. It ain't like we're talking about a championship from 4 years ago. They just won at the highest level. They just won. That is telling. Now the thing about it for Draymond, and I got a lot of things written up here. My issue with Draymond is, what is it going to take? What is it going to take for Draymond to understand that you are appreciated, we do respect you, but you're not the guy that you portray yourself to be. And I'm not saying it as a hater, because I'm actually a big time fan of Draymond's game. I love a guy that can impact the game without having to have box score numbers, for sure. The Warriors are Steph Curry's team. Steph Curry is the guy of that. Steph Curry is the Michael Jordan of y'all team. He's the lead singer. Draymond, nobody's gonna talk about you as a top 10 all-time great player. For me, I don't understand what Draymond thinks he is that we don't think. He's an incredible player. He's a for sure Hall of Famer. He's part of one of the best, if not the best, dynasty we've ever seen. And that's just what it is. But it seems like Draymond has trouble on who he is and what we think of him as. He's the one that's self-proclaimed the greatest defensive player ever, or he wants to show how impactful he is. He has his point to prove. And I understand, as a competitive player in the game of basketball, you need something to keep you going and to keep you, with a mission in your mind. But every time I hear Draymond speak over the last couple of years, he has like this thing where it's like he has to show how valuable he is with the Warriors. The Warriors can't win without him. He is the greatest defender of all time. He just was on the LeBron show to shop. Man, I hate playing against garbage teams, because what are you doing? How am I supposed to get ready to compete? And I'm not saying he said anything wrong, but it's just like I just don't understand what's lost in Draymond and what makes him think he has to do so much to prove himself. Like he's legitimately a Hall of Famer who played a big pivotal part on a championship team, but he's just not that guy. He's not an MVP caliber player. He's not the reason that they win championships. And that's just what it is. Yeah, a lot of his value comes with playing with the Warriors. Oh, well, ain't nothing wrong with that. It's a lot of players in history who value only came on a certain team. You only play for that team, so it shouldn't matter. You're a Hall of Famer regardless. And I got on this sticky note a lot of the situations that Draymond been in. The first one is obviously the Kevin Durant situation. The Warriors could definitely look at Draymond as a guy who helped Kevin Durant leave. And there's an argument that Kevin Durant would have left anyway, but that definitely didn't help. That definitely did not help Draymond Green crossing the line, doing extra like he did in this situation, except verbally. Hey, you a bitch. We don't need you. We won without you. We can win without you. Yada, yada, yada. You need us. Blah, 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 blah. We know that situation. Uncalled for. The Warriors still ride with Draymond. Kevin Durant is gone. Cool. He wasn't part of this as a family anyway. He came up. Draymond, you family. It's whatever. Cool. We still gonna ride with you, Draymond. Even before that, the Game 6 suspension against the Cavaliers and LeBron James. The Warriors could blame Draymond for that finals collapse and that finals loss. Because there's an argument, if Draymond doesn't get suspended, the Warriors win one of those games and win the series. But Draymond gets suspended, gives the Cavs momentum, and the Cavs ultimately come back from a 3-1 deficit to win the NBA Finals. Warriors could definitely look at Draymond that way. But you know what Draymond did? He brought in Kevin Durant, and they were able to extend their dynasty. But then again, like I just mentioned, he soon kind of ran or helped open the door for Kevin Durant. And again, maybe Kevin Durant was already looking at that door to leave, but Draymond opened it, packed his bags, put the bags next to the door, and booked him an Uber and made it so much easier for Kevin Durant to walk out of that door. You even go back to recently where Kevin Durant and Draymond had a situation, the interview that they did. I forget the name of the Draymond Green Bleacher Report show or whatever he had, Chips or something like that. And he quotes saying, I told Bob Myers, the only people who could fix the situation is me and Kevin. Y'all are going to fuck this up. And in my opinion, they fucked it up. So you have a private conversation about a situation that happened years ago. At this point in that interview that I'm referring to last year, Kevin Durant is on the Nets. The Warriors have moved on. Kevin Durant has moved on. And Draymond is publicly blaming his GM and saying that they fucked everything up because they suspended Draymond Green. And even in that situation, even just say he never publicly said this and we didn't know. Again, who does Draymond think he is to walk to Bob Myers' office and tell him, don't suspend me, you gonna fuck this up? And then to say, you fucked this up. No, Draymond, Bob Myers have nothing to fuck up. If you don't cross the line with Kevin Durant, there's nothing for them to fuck up. And I'm not being one of those persons like, who does Draymond think he is? He's a Hall of Famer. He's a Hall of Famer. He's a guy who I'm a fan of. But I'm saying in an instance, you have to know who you are in the role of the franchise. You're not Steph Curry. You're not the guy that walks into the office and say, y'all fuck this up or y'all gonna fuck this up. And that's just wild to me to hear that. And then as of recently, it's the LeBron stuff. Draymond has been like super buddy with LeBron, which I have no problem with. I love LeBron as well. But it's been a little weird because obviously LeBron has been an enemy of the Warriors, and they've gone at it, and they've been going at it for each other's legacies. Steph Curry legacy against LeBron's, that's just what it's been. They've been in the finals head-to-head the last I don't know how many years prior to LeBron going to the Lakers. And that whole thing, he's on his podcast saying that when LeBron's about to break Kareem's record, he would miss a Warriors game to go see it. It's weird. That is weird. There's nothing wrong with having a relationship. That's weird. This is the same guy that you kicked in the private area and got suspended for. So I'm naming all these things not to assassinate the character of Draymond Green, because he is a high class, intelligent black man who's super successful, and he's articulate as they come. High IQ off the charts. I'm not saying this to assassinate his character. I'm saying this because how much are the Warriors going to handle with you, Draymond? How much will the Warriors take? This is a lot. I'm surprised they even did all of this for you, and a lot of it probably is because Clay and Steph probably vouch for you. We the big three. It ain't going to be the same without Draymond. They love you because you are so pivotal to them, and y'all do have something that's been beautiful. But this is a lot, man. This is a lot. And now you got this contract situation where Draymond has 2 more years on his deal. After this upcoming year, he's going to be on a player option where he can decline and enter free agency, or he can accept and play out on the last year of his deal. And they already got this money situation because they paying Jordan Poole. Steph Curry got his bag. They already paid Clay. They're going to have to pay Wiggins. You know, then you got the young bucks, Wiseman, Kuminga, Poole, that you're going to have to pay. Even if these guys ain't getting necessarily max contracts, you still going to pay. This is a situation where Joe Lacob can be in the luxury tax of hundreds of millions of dollars. And they've already spoke about how decisions are going to have to be made. And I think Draymond is putting himself in a position where he's going to lose his bag. And he's going to lose his home. Because Draymond ain't going to he ain't going to sign for nothing. We know that. That's why they've been negotiating. But at this point, you kind of forced in the Warriors' hand. So this situation is going to be a lot bigger than I think. I'm hoping that the Warriors can come back from it. But I'll tell you right now, if another man put his hands on me like that with that intent to do harm, the relationship would never be the same. I don't care what the Warriors say. I don't care how professional Jordan Poole remains. That relationship will never be the same. I've been in fights with my brothers. I've been in fights with my best friends. I've been in fights with teammates. We've had scuffles. You know, you hem them up, grab them by their shirt. They grab you by your shirt. Y'all may push each other. Y'all may point in each other's face. But to put that much of your momentum in a punch will never be the same. It will never be the same. And then for this video to leak, it's so many different, you know, conspiracies online. But I even saw someone say, man, whoever leaked this probably doesn't want Draymond around because they know the impact this video can have. And I'm even thinking about the Warriors. Like, do y'all consider how Jordan Poole feel? Jordan Poole got knocked out. Like, he got hit bad. And y'all on there in the press conference saying, yeah, Draymond probably won't miss any games. Like, I don't know if that was a cover-up to be like, man, if we don't suspend him any games, they won't think it's that bad. But then I'm like, did y'all consider how Jordan Poole feel? Jordan Poole could be sitting at home like, damn, y'all not going to suspend him? So he can do whatever the hell he want to do. He can punch me all in my face and it still won't cause a suspension. And then it's like the video is out, so now y'all can go back on y'all word and say, no, we are going to suspend him. It's just a lot going on. It's a lot of moving variables, and it's not something that we're used to from the Warriors. And now you put Steph Curry in a situation where now Steph Curry has to speak on it, and we know how Steph Curry is. He's a calm, cool, cut dude who rather leads by example or lead privately and not be involved in this type of stuff. It's a lot. I think Draymond is putting himself in a tough situation, man. In a tough situation. A lot of people gonna put out a lot of jokes. A lot of people gonna say a lot of crazy things. But at the end of the day, Draymond is putting himself in a situation where he will not retire and be a part of the Warriors for long, in my opinion. If I'm the Warriors, Draymond Green is not coming back unless he's taking a significant less amount of money than he ever expected to. And me knowing Draymond Green, I think I know, based off what I've seen, he's not going to take any amount of money. It's business is business. And if you causing this amount of headaches and you doing this much stuff, all of these things, plus this situation now, which is going to be that, this is what Draymond could potentially be known for. As great of a basketball player he is, you know, I could see my mom asking me, did you see that dude punch his teammate? My mom ain't never said anything about no Draymond Green. She think of the Warriors. She think of Steph and Clay. You know what I mean? But this is the type of stuff where this negative stuff can have people who never spoke on you. This is what they know you for now. This is for what they know you for now. Forever going to be known as the guy who punched the hell out of his teammate when you're so much more than that. You're a businessman. You're a high IQ, intelligent black man, sports aside. You're a high IQ, intelligent basketball player. You're a hell of a defensive, one of the best players on one of the best dynasties ever. You may not be Steph Curry, but you've always been a top player on that team. We know how important and vital you are, and I just think this is going to mess up his legacy. It's going to mess up the locker room, and it's going to mess up his career with the Warriors. I even saw Trae Young said, damn, Draymond trying to do anything to get to the Lakers. You don't do that to go to the Lakers. And I know Trae was probably trying to be funny and whatnot, but it's just like, I just really don't know what the future holds now, because after Wiggins showed his value, you're going to pay him. And God forbid Jonathan Kuminga and James Wiseman take significant steps. Draymond, you become replaceable. Tough situation. Y'all let me know y'all feedback. Let me know anything y'all saw in the video that y'all took from that I may not have spoken about or may not have seen. What are y'all opinions? Do y'all think this is getting overhyped? Do y'all think the Warriors just bounce back? Let me know in the comments. This is a crazy situation we're going to continue to see develop, I'm guessing, and I'm sure, actually. But leave a like, and I'll see y'all in the next video. I'm out. Peace.